Alrighty, good morning and happy Saturday as we welcome you into Waverly High School for a late morning non-conference matchup between the Waverly Tigers and Hillsboro Indians. Along with Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into today's coverage. Shane, early morning action for us here today, but nonetheless glad to have you back here on the call.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying our volleyball stretch together, and these are two teams that you and I have been trying to sort the schedule. I talked to a lot of people about how we go about picking matches, and you try not to favor any particular conference, any particular team. We're really just kind of looking around and trying to see some teams. And you and I have kind of had these two teams highlighted for a while now, Hillsboro, Waverly, where they got off to a really nice start, and they're two programs that are trying to push forward and kind of take the next step, if you will, inside their respective conferences and in their division seeding, which is just around the corner, believe it or not. So, yeah, I'm glad we were able to fit this into the schedule. I'm looking forward to seeing these two squads. And
that's something you mentioned, tournament seeding. That's something we're kind of talking about before we went on air. Obviously, these two teams are Division 4, but we were kind of talking about where do we think the better matchups come district and regional time are going to be? Is it going to be D5? Is it going to be D4? Those are really the two heavy hitters for us. And there's a lot of good teams on both sides there in both of those divisions.
Really is, and there's different factors throughout the Southeast District in the divisions. For example, in your Division 4, you have some incredible depth there, and they only get one team out to the regional. So as you start to move into the district semifinal, district final, you're talking about some really, really elite matchups for people that aren't familiar there. Those are your teams like your Warren, your Gallia Academy, your Circleville, your Logan Elm, those types of teams. When you get to Division 5, again, you have great depth, but what is a great offer for the Division 5 team is there's more ways out. There's more brackets here at Waverly. So we were just rattling off all the different Division 5 teams. Go down to Division 6, 7, so forth, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. So it is. There's a lot of factors that go into it. You and I are going to have some incredible choices to make come tournament time, but we're going to have some really, really good matches and really good representation on whoever does go to the Sweet 16 to represent the Southeast District.
You mentioned Division 5. Obviously, that district tournament is here. We've had some great contests over the years down here at Waverly. Division 4 with these two teams. They'll go to Southeastern, and if I remember correctly, I think D6 and 7 maybe are both at Wellston, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe Wellston there, and I might be making it up. Jackson's been used maybe over the years, some of those schools. So. But even in there, we talked about that on overtime last week. There's a couple really nice teams in D6 and D7. Obviously, South Webster in D6 has always been really good. They play a really tough schedule. D7, I know TVC Hocking down there, Racine Southern, Reedsville Eastern. They've kind of had a back and forth. So every division, I feel like there's going to be some elite competition.
Notre Dame, another good team down in Division 7 as well. North Adams has been making some noise in the shack as well. I believe they fall into the D6 this season, as it obviously went to 7 divisions. That's where they fell in basketball. I'm not sure if that held up.
Yeah,
for
they might have been down
well.
here in volleyball, but you're right. They flirt right on that number. I'll have to look that one up because there's another depth piece that we're talking about when it comes to the D5 brackets.
Now, coming back to today's matchup, we'll start with the Hillsboro Indians under head coach Heather Jones. They're 10-6, 2-4 in conference play out of the Frontier Athletic Conference. They took Miami Trace to 5 sets this past Thursday at home. Now, they did fall in the match, but they are the only FAC school so far to take Miami Trace to that 5th set. I believe the only other team to do it this season was Wilmington. Now, Hillsboro did start out 6-0. They're 4-6 over their last 10, and in 7 of their last 8 matches, they've been decided in straight sets, so they're either getting straight set wins or straight set losses. Something you brought up before we went on air. It's a team that you feel like have lost some matches that maybe they shouldn't, but they've also competed with some high-level teams as well.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see them play today because I'm familiar with some of their athletes throughout multiple sports, and it's obviously in there. You and I watched the Miami Trace team play. If you're going toe-to-toe, now sometimes losing is a result of you not playing well. Sometimes losing is a result of the team across the net being really good. So it's with Miami Trace. I don't look too far into that. You lost to an SVC opponent in Zane Trace. Obviously, the SVC is always going to present quite a challenge when it comes to volleyball. So, there's probably some inconsistencies. There's certainly one league match in there I'm sure they'd like to have back. But at the end of the day, they're still still having a nice season, still everything in front of them to play for when it comes to seeding and so forth. So, yeah, I'm really, really anxious to take a look at them here today and see some of their strengths.
Yeah, you mentioned Miami Trace. I don't think I envy any program that has to deal with Lauren Guess and Lauren Ferentz twice in a season.
No,
we
sir.
definitely saw those two. It probably is best if they've been this season over at Chillicothe. I believe that was last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. But they put on a show at the at the Hatton Gymnasium.
They really did, and the stat that you have, I don't recall the exact number, pushed up into the 30s on the straight FAC wins for Miami Trace. Keep in mind that's a factor, because throughout the course of the last 2-3 years, obviously Miami Trace, when it comes to an FAC match, they've won, right? So Hillsboro pushes them into 4. We watched that with Chillicothe as well. Then Hillsboro, you're telling me, push them into 5. That's getting closer and closer. They just got to find a way to get over the hump. And a Waverly team today gives them quite a test here on the road. So this might be a way to jumpstart their season into the second half.
You mentioned Waverly. They come into today 11-3, 2-2 out of the SOC 3. When you look at their 3 losses this season, you're talking about Athens in 3. That was a weekend set. Best of 3. You lose to Valley in 4 and Wheelersburg in 3. The combined record of those 3 teams is 33-7. Obviously, Athens a powerhouse over in the TVC, and then you have Valley and Wheelersburg, who are among the top 3 in that SOC 3 conference, along obviously with South Webster as well. Now, we were talking about head coach Ricky McGill, and you mentioned her playing days maybe having some influence on how she coaches this Tigers program.
Yeah. Now Ricky Henshaw, as you said, the volleyball people know her as Ricky McGill. She brings some energy to the program. She's done a nice job here over the last couple of years, and you've watched these upperclassmen kind of grow up through, and they're off to a nice start now at 11-3. You mentioned those teams that they've lost to. Those are obviously really good volleyball teams. You and I are going to see Waverly Wheelersburg and Valley on Tuesday night, and Athens out of the TVC fighting up there at the top with Alexander and Nelsonville, and it looks like Vinton County now as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Waverly too. I think they've kind of taken a step forward this year and started to separate themselves a little bit from the middle of the pack. And anytime you're trying to take that final step and get up there with the top teams, you get into some of those 3-set matches on the weekend, or in this case, this is just a normal match, best of 5. You get into the 4th and 5th set, and you just got to be able to get over the hump. So obviously they have a lot of talent. Obviously they've made some great improvements. Today, the thing to look for as you get deep into the sets, when it comes winning time, you and I talked about that in that instant classic Uniota-Adena match we called the other night. When it gets into the middle of the set and down into winning time, who can step up and make plays?
Now, the first thing you said was instant classic. It's crazy that I had to wait on you to mention the 2 teams that were in it, just because we've had so many 5-set matches that have been outstanding this year. Now, unfortunately or fortunately today, either way you want to look at it, we didn't have a JV match, so we didn't have the possibility of a 3-set junior varsity match. We've had a lot of those as well, but a lot of those 3-set JV matches have preceded some great 5-set varsity matches as well.
Well, maybe Waverly and Hillsboro knew our JV streak of 3 sets, and that's why they bumped the start time back here on us about 15-20 minutes.
That could be the reason, but so Waverly, we mentioned 11-3. They've won 3 consecutive matches, 1 out of the conference, 2 over SOC 3 opponents, Piketon, Minford, and Portsmouth West. That win over the Senators was on Thursday. All 3 of those wins are in straight sets, so they've been rolling as of late. And one of the players you're going to hear us talk about a lot here tonight is Sydney Johnson, the 5'8" senior, right around 5.5 kills per set, and she is now the all-time career leader in both kills and digs in the Waverly program.
Well, really impressive all around. I always love the players that can impact the game, not only in their 3 rotations across the front row, but then when they go to the back row, can they do it defensively? Can they do it with their serve? Can they do it with their leadership? And as you were talking about those straight set wins, I think that matters in volleyball. A lot of times people say, what's the big deal if you went 4 or whatever? Well, the coach in me looks at it from a focus standpoint, not playing up or down to your competition. I think when you're trying to take that next step, when you are better than a team, then go out and beat them in 3 and put them away. And I think a lot of times that says a lot and speaks to the leadership of the older group for Coach Henshaw.
These 2 teams did play last year. It was much earlier in the season. Obviously today, September 20th. Last year they played on August 20th. and it was a 3-set win for Hillsboro over Waverly. Now, Waverly did beat them in 5 the year prior. National anthem here in Waverly. We'll take a break.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
We welcome you back to Waverly High School. Tigers and Hillsboro Indians set for a Saturday morning non-conference matchup. Hillsboro coming off of a 5-set loss to Miami Trace on Thursday. For Waverly, it was a 3-set sweep over the Senators of West on Thursday. Some upcoming volleyball action. Just in terms of broadcasting, it looks like we're going to be down in Lucasville next Tuesday when the Indians host Wheelersburg. Obviously a clash of 2 of the top 3 teams in that SOC3 conference. Thursday we're still undecided, but it looks like we will be in action one way or another.
Yeah, a couple really good ones on Thursday there.
So both rosters introduced, and we're just moments away from the first serve. And Shane, one of the things we always talk about is how sometimes with conference play you'll see the 4 officials. And today on a Saturday morning, I got to tell you, I feel like the odds for 4 officials was pretty low, but we have it. A non-conference Saturday morning matchup.
Honestly, a lot of leagues have decided that in their league structure or bylaw or whatever you want to do, and then a lot of schools just adopt that. But yeah, good to see it. I think it always adds to the match just to take that out of just people out of the stands. The way we've done it for so many years, and have officials on the line.
So the junior Tynlee Davis serves it away, and we're rocking and rolling from Waverly. Gillett comes to the near side. It's a roll shot sent over by Nesser. Now on the attack, Wagner swinging away, but it's up over the back line. Waverly onto the board first.
One of the big things I look for early in something like this, Dewey, is just the energy level. You know, we were in an atmosphere the other night that was electric. Naturally, on a Saturday morning non-league, you're not going to have that. Can the girls, get it juiced up themselves?
Ceiling goes to the far side. It's Wagner, another attacking error for the junior. So a lot of early opportunities for the junior Ryan Wagner. Right around 3.5 kills per set for the Indians. Ceiling goes right back to Wagner on that far side. It's dug up by Gillett. Bump set from Ramsey near side. Johnson tries to get it over the net. It's back over to Waverly. Now over to the Indians, and it falls on their side.
Good start for Waverly here. You jump out 3-0. Again, Wagner, their go-to in this particular rotation, 3.5 kills, just a couple hitting errors. She'll settle in.
Sailing a bump set to the far side for Wagner. She's blocked back over to the Indians, and Wagner sends it back over to Waverly. Ramsey comes near side for Johnson. She's able to get a nice swing on it, and she'll eventually, I don't think she will officially get the kill. They may have had a violation on Hillsboro. Either way, it's 4-0.
A lot of times those are tough scoring decisions. A lot of times if you're into the action of the attack.
And an overpass for Hillsboro. It falls out of bounds, so it's 5-0 Waverly here in the first.
A little bit of this is what I'm talking about here early on, just some of the unforced errors. A lot of times that can just come from lack of focus early in the morning here.
Ceiling keeps it on the near side, out of the back row. Tylee Davis, a nice play from Ramsey to keep it alive, and a roll shot near side for Johnson. Ceiling goes to Wagner, far side into the back row, and it's out of bounds past that back line. And an early timeout for Hillsboro.
Yeah, you understand that from a coaching perspective, just kind of sensing what we're sensing. You've had some opportunities there on the outside, just everything's a step slow right now. So what happens, Dewey, is when you're a half tick slow, everything happens a little bit later, and sometimes that can cause the hitter to sell that ball long rather than get there a half second quicker and get on top of it. Give a star there to Ramsey as well on the diving effort from Waverly. I thought that was a big play in that last point.
One of the things you mentioned just looking over the roster was the freshmen that have a lot of playing time for the Tigers. Obviously, Hadley Ramsey, the freshman, is a libero, but Callie Knight has had a lot of success serving the ball so far coming into today. She led the Tigers with aces, 27, now has 28 with the ace earlier on in the set. And a service error for Callie Knight.
That's why I like the early timeout. Talk about it before in our coverage. Sometimes volleyball coaches hang on to those too long. With this thing turned into 10-0, 12-2 or whatever, it's too late anyway, probably.
And an ace for Kayla Ceiling.
Nice response out of the timeout here. They give you the service error. You come back with a good serve of your own.
23rd ace of the season for the senior. Gillett comes near side. That's Johnson for the kill.
Obviously coming in at 5.4 a set. That's a pretty high number. We talk about that a lot. You start getting up in that 5 area and you're talking about some elite talent.
And no tip. Now they will have the tip for Hillsboro, so an ace for Waverly. Sadie Royster with the ace. Not too often you can hear the up official, especially when they're on the other side of the gymnasium, but it's not the biggest crowd here this morning. And back-to-back aces for the senior Sadie Royster.
Yeah, that late action's kind of tough to read on the back line. I thought they had an unforced error with lack of communication on the first one. That time a little tougher to handle.
Ceiling goes far side, right back to Wagner. This time she's able to get the kill.
I like that they keep going to her. That's obviously young lady they need, the junior, out of that strong side.
Riley Pence serves it away for the Indians. Down the middle, Johnson tries to get the left hand up under it, but is unable to do so. It's 9-4 Waverly.
Yeah, a little miscommunication in the middle. Setter thought she was coming a little tighter, a little quicker. Hitter was expecting it off the net a little bit.
Gillett keeps it inside. That's Johnson with a soft touch. Now on the second opportunity, Sealing sends it back over near side. It's Johnson swinging away. Another kill for the senior, Sidney Johnson.
Yeah, just a little bit out of system there. Hillsboro got the opportunity to go on offense, didn't take advantage of it. And then when you have someone like Sidney Johnson in the front row, you just can't afford to give her another opportunity.
Set from Young, middle of the floor. It's a free ball sent over by Mycroft. And it'll fall in. Miscommunication defensively for Waverly.
A little sloppy on both sides is probably a fair analysis at this point. But again, that's a little bit expected. See which team can kind of turn it up here first. That's probably going to be the team that separates here in this first set.
(11-5), Waverly leading Hillsboro as Johnson serves it away. Sealing, front setting. Here's Davis out of the front row, and she'll get the kill.
Davis, quite an athlete as a junior, comes in leading them in kills at about 3.7 per set.
Had her 500th kill this past Wednesday in the straight set win over Wilmington. The Tigers extend their lead back up to 6.
Yeah, Knight with an impressive swing on the outside.
Sealing keeps it inside. That's Young with the left hand. A nice play from the freshman.
That was a nice adjustment. A lot of times, you know, I don't love when they have to go to the left hand, but in that case, I think it was called for, and it was a nice adjustment in the air and nice vision to find a hole.
Now Macy Faber serves it away for Hillsboro. Near side, it's Sadie Royster on the attack, and she'll get the kill.
So we make our way through the 6 spots of the rotation here the first time, and you get familiar with each group and what they're doing. I've had a chance to see them on film a little bit, so I had some ideas coming in. Thing that jumps out at me about Waverly is a little bit of depth of athleticism at the net.
Sealing a bump set, Davis far side into the back row. It's dug up by Johnson. Now Knight to the far side, a roll shot sent back over to Hillsboro. Sealing goes to Davis, a roll shot that caught the antenna. And the lead is up to 7 now for Waverly. And Shane, really after Waverly jumped out to that 6 or 7 point lead, it's been fairly even since that mark. Overpass for Hillsboro, it's sent back to the Indians, now back to the Tigers. Gillett down the middle, that's Sadie Royster on the attack. And she'll get the kill.
Yeah, another as they were attacking, another person in the net there. So again, Hillsboro just with a lot of unforced errors here.
Sealing on the second touch, a nice play from Johnson to keep it alive momentarily, but Sealing able to get the kill. That's her 31st of the season. You kind of had to figure by looking at the stat sheet with really not another setter high in the assist numbers that you would see Sealing do that quite a bit in the front row. Here's Gillett setting it up, Royster off the tape. And it looks like they'll have no touch for Hillsboro and 4 touches for Waverly.
A little bit of an opportunity here for Hillsboro for the first time in the early going to maybe grab some momentum.
Davis serves it away for Hillsboro. Ramsey brings it near side. It'll be a free ball over, but it's going to fall in for the kill.
Really well done. You know, sometimes when we say free ball, people just toss it up into the middle. You want to try to have a little bit of a plan when you do that, and that time they're able to push it into that back corner.
Cameron Carroll serves it away for the Tigers. Sealing tight to the net, sets it up down the middle. It's kept alive by Waverly. Now Johnson near side with the left hand just over the tape, and a nice play from Wagner to keep it alive. Back to the Tigers now. Gillett into the back right corner, but it's out of bounds. The Indians are back within 6.
Same idea there, just missed the spot. Again, pretty good volleyball IQ, pretty good vision, just didn't execute the spot.
Bump set from Gillett. It'll be a free ball pushed over by Johnson. Now Sealing to the far side. It's Ryan Wagner with the left hand who gets the kill.
Really good on both parts there. Nice job of getting that ball popped up for a hitter to make a play on it, and great job of Wagner staying out of the net.
And an ace for Hillsboro. So now the Indians starting to catch a little bit of fire on the service line. That's Kayla Sealing with another ace.
Yeah, slowly but surely, let's talk about the momentum. You crawl back within 4 here. If you're Waverly, you want to make sure you stay in control of the set.
Sealing serves it into the back row. Now Gillett sets it up for Johnson near side.
Again, another net violation. I think that's 3 of them here in the first set.
(17-12), Waverly leading Hillsboro here in the first. Free ball pushed over by Hillsboro, another violation. Looks like they had that double touch against the Indians.
Yeah, that's that 1-2 contact. You can get away with it now on your side, but when you send it over, you got to be a little bit cleaner. Another unforced error.
Lead back up to 6 for the Tigers. Tight to the net, Sealing tips it with the right hand. They had the tip, so Hillsboro's able to get it back over on that third touch. Down the middle, a big-time swing. That's Abby Schrader with the kill for the Tigers.
Yeah, it is a great swing, and what happened was the adjustment at the net there had Hillsboro a little out of system, and then that opened up the net. They weren't able to get their block back there in time, and Schrader takes advantage of the big swing.
Royster serves it away for the Tigers. Nearly gets the ace. A bump set far side for Wagner, who gets the kill. So Ryan Wagner, who had an attacking error on all 3 of her first 3 swings, has been able to come up with a kill the last couple times around.
Yeah, just simply settling in a little bit, starting to pick up the tempo a little bit. That was an outstanding play from the setter, Sealing.
Pence at the service line for Hillsboro. Gillett brings it near side for Johnson, but she's caught out of rhythm. Could not get a good touch on it. The Indians are back within 5. Gillett a bump set far side. It'll be a roll shot for Royster. Emily Young sends it over with the right hand. Back setting near side on a roll shot for Johnson. Now Sealing goes right back to Wagner down the line. Johnson keeps it alive. Gillett goes backside. That's Royster swinging away. Now the Indians with an opportunity. Be Davis from the attack line and a diving dig in the back row for Carroll. The Indians are now back within 4 as they come away with the point. It's 19-15.
Yeah, and even though the volleyball's not perfect there, I just like Hillsboro's effort and energy starting to pick up a little bit, and it keeps them in the point. Now you're back to 4. On my sheet here, I don't think you've been within 3 since the first 3 points of the match. That's a costly error.
Service error for the sophomore Riley Pence. It's 20-15. Sealing front setting. That's Emily Young down the line. An overpass, but sent right back over on the first touch by Hillsboro. Gillett comes near side for Johnson. Davis digs it up in the back row and a bump set from Sealing far side. That's Wagner into the back row, but she sticks it in that back right corner for the kill.
Yeah, and there was a nice adjustment because what happened there, Dewey, was that was the type of ball where Wagner wasn't able to get the full attack, so she was able to take just a little bit off of it, and it was a real creative shot to kind of get it into that back corner.
After the kill, Wagner serves it away. Down the middle, that's Abby Schrader who gets the kill for the Tigers.
Schrader, 5'8" junior, giving him something in the middle there, comes in right around 1.2 kills, already has a couple.
Sealing goes front side. That's Davis down the line, but she's unable to sneak it in. It looks like they had a tip for the Tigers.
Keep in mind when we say those stats, we're always referring to per set.
Near side, that's Callie Knight swinging away. A nice dig for Rhodes. Free ball sent over by Kayla Sealing. Now inside once again, Abby Schrader with a ferocious swing. She's able to get the kill.
Yeah, Waverly's had some matchups they like there in the middle, and they've been able to go with a little bit of pace and have some success. Now knocking on the door of this first set win.
Johnson back to the line for the Tigers. Bump set from Sealing. She'll keep it on the near side. It's Mycroft on the free ball. Now Roberts comes near side for Knight, who tools the block for the kill. Set point here in the first now for Waverly.
Talked about the depth of Waverly a little bit. 4 different girls with kills here in the opening set. Talks about a little bit of their balance up and down the net.
Johnson will serve it away. Wagner takes it to the far side. Davis on the free ball, back over to Waverly. Roberts inside, a big swing for the Tigers. That was Schrader again, but she was unable to keep it inside the back line. Roberts goes backside down the line. That's Schrader again. As Young gets it over on the free ball. Roberts comes near side. That's Callie Knight to the back row, and it's out of bounds.
But if you're Hillsboro, you just keep fighting point to point and trying to get yourself back in this, but you're also trying to get a little momentum into the second set. This 6-point deficit kind of goes back to the way the whole thing started.
In the middle, it's pushed over by Johnson, and it falls in. 25-18, the final in set 1. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
We welcome you back to Waverly High School, 25-18, the final in set 1. The Tigers over the Indians. Dewey Daly and Shane Combs alongside you this morning. Still 11:36 a.m., some late morning volleyball for us on this Saturday. Obviously a bye week for Ohio State, so they're not in action. A big one later on tonight for the Reds, but really for the rest of the season, they're all big ones.
No question about it. Got to have every one of them. And, you know, we talk about it being early in the morning. I think that had a little bit of a factor here with the late start, and for whatever reason, Hillsboro comes out just a little bit flat. I thought it started to pick up as they moved through their rotation the second time. But on the Waverly side, I was real impressed with their depth. They spread the ball around a little bit. Obviously, it's going to be led by Johnson, but I also was impressed with Schrader and Knight, and even Royster got involved there a little bit. And they've got a couple different girls that'll spread it around, and pretty impressive there in the first set, the way they jumped out. Obviously, Hillsboro aided it in a lot of errors. I expect for the energy level to pick up here on the Hillsboro side, and I think as a result, the overall intensity and competition of the match should pick up.
Obviously, Ryan Wagner, who's right around 3.5 kills %, started off slow, but really started to pick up as the set went on as well.
Yeah, still ended up with 4, but you're right, that first time through, some of her hitting errors were just a result of the entire team just being a step slow in every part of their attack. Hillsboro, if you're in that huddle there, it's an easy adjustment. It's like, look, okay, we probably made over 10 errors of some kind throughout the first set. We didn't play very hard early, hey, let's snap out of it. Let's come right back. And that's, we always talk about it. Volleyball, the scoreboard starts over 0-0.
So Callie Knight will get things going for us in set 2 as she serves it away. And gets the ace. Just like that, the Tigers back out in front.
Yeah, nice start for Waverly. And again, that's where an outstanding server to go back on the line first can really, really spark your group.
And back-to-back aces to begin the second set for the freshman Callie Knight. Tight to the net, nearly an overpass. Either way, it's back over to Waverly near side. It's Johnson for the kill.
Yeah, and even there, the serve caused the problems in the receive, getting the ball right back over on the Waverly side so that they could go and give Johnson the chance to attack.
The Tigers leading 3-0 here in the second set. Bump set from Sealing near side. It's a free ball over by Faber, but it falls out of bounds. It's a very similar start here in the second as we saw in the first set, with Waverly getting out in front early. Sealing bumps it to Davis, far side, a big swing and a dig from Johnson. Now Knight from the attack line. It's dug up on the other side by Wagner. It'll have to be a free ball, and it is from Allie Roush. Gillett keeps it inside. That was Royster who gets the kill.
Yeah, right now the serve receive is kind of giving some fits with the outstanding serve of Knight. Hillsboro has some weapons on the outside in all 6 spots of the rotation, but if you're unable to pass it on target, you can't use them.
Faber bumps it to Davis. Instead, it'll be Pence who gets it over on the free ball. Now Gillett near side for Johnson off the tape. And again, Hillsboro called for another violation. They've been called for a handful of those, and we're only 6 points into the second set.
Yeah, into probably, I think, 5, if I remember correctly, on the net violation.
And another ace for the freshman Callie Knight, her third here in the set.
Going to bring Rhodes back into serve receive.
7-0 Waverly. Already with a sizable lead here in this second set. Here's Sealing, goes far side. It's Davis down the line, and it's dug up by Knight. But this time it'll be the Tigers on the violation. Looks like they had him for a couple of touches.
That's what we're talking about there. The good serve receive leads to a swing for Davis, who's very capable on that outside.
Now Davis will serve it away following the kill. Bump set from Gillett. It'll be Knight from beyond the attack line. Now Sealing does the same near side, and it was Davis and Wagner who both looked to make a play on it, and both of them more or less just sent it into the net. Free ball sent over from Sealing off of the Royster serve. It'll be Johnson near side, rolls it over, dug up by Roush. Now Sealing goes far side to Wagner. Kept alive by the Tigers. Royster brings it to Johnson near side. Now the Indians on the attack with Wagner far side, and she'll get the kill.
Give Davis a lot of credit there for the effort in the back row. I believe it was her that threw the right hand out there and able to keep the ball alive. That's the type of effort Hillsboro needs here, just to spark a little bit. You know, they've been a little sluggish, and then obviously the serve receive hurts you a little bit in terms of getting anything going.
Gillett keeps it near side. That's Abby Schrader. Free ball sent over by Riley Pence. Back to the Tigers now with Johnson near side. And again, it's Hillsboro on another violation.
Now, again, I'll have to get some clarification on the stats. I know a lot of times if the attack's coming where the attack feels like it causes a net violation, sometimes you can still get a kill. I'll have to get some clarification on the statistical part of that.
Out of the back row, Tylee Davis swinging away. It's dug up by Knight. Now from the attack line, it's Schrader. Ceiling goes to Wagner down the line, dug up by Ramsey. And another violation, this one against the Tigers. It's been a violation-filled set so far here in the second.
Yeah, maybe that net's moving. Maybe it's it's going out there and grabbing the player. But in all seriousness, that's just where it just takes that extra second of focus and technique to make sure you go up correctly, get those hands out over the net.
The junior setter, Josie Rhodes, serves it away. It's out of bounds, and it's 10-3 Waverly.
Yeah, great communication from the Waverly back row and able to move out of the way just in time.
Rhodes goes to the far side. It's Emily Young. Back to the Tigers now with Roberts and a free ball over by Ramsey. Ceiling goes to the far side. Wagner down the line. She's blocked up top by Schrader, and a free ball will be sent over by Ceiling. Roberts to Knight. What a move on the run for the freshman Callie Knight. She's able to get the kill, and it's an 8-point lead for Waverly. Timeout Hillsboro.
Yeah, Knight's really impressive as just a rookie. She can do a lot of different things. It was her serve that kind of took over this second set, and there she shows off a little bit of her athleticism, just going and, you know, it's those adjustment plays that show you the feel of the game that a player has. That was really impressive.
We're just now tuning in. Obviously, Waverly leading Hillsboro 11-3 here in the second set. It was the Tigers over the Indians 25-18 in the first. Hillsboro, check that, Waverly has now won 10 consecutive sets. They're on a 3-match win streak, straight set wins over Piketon, Medford, and West. Hillsboro coming off the heels of a 5-set thriller with Miami Trace this past Thursday.
Going to have a little bit of the hangover effect as well. Obviously, that's a big rivalry and a tough loss.
Ceiling a bump set, a free ball will be sent over by Wagner. Now Roberts comes near side. That's Callie Knight for another kill.
You know, I've seen a couple impressive freshmen here in our coverage area throughout the year, and Knight certainly adding herself to that list.
3 aces, a couple of kills already in this set. It's a free ball sent over by Young. Now Roberts goes backside. That's Taryn Gillett swinging away. Indians keep it alive. Now Wagner far side. Free ball sent over by Roberts. Ceiling keeps it inside for Young. Now Knight back over to the Indians as Ceiling goes far side. That's Wagner again. And the Tigers are into the net. They're on it today.
Well, again, at 12-4, you put yourself in such a hole again, and you just find yourself fighting uphill.
Roberts looking to go near side for Knight, but she's unable to get a good touch on it, and it's 12-5 now. Roberts comes to the middle. That's Gillett. Back over to the Indians now, and it'll be Davis over on the free ball. Roberts keeps it inside. Hillsboro keeps it alive once again. Now Davis far side into the back row for the kill.
You can see it with Hillsboro. Like that was one of their best transitions from defense to offense, where everybody got into the correct spots and they got off the net ready to hit. They throw it out there. With Davis and Wagner opposite of each other, both up around 3.5 to 4 kills per set, you can certainly see what they are when they're at their best. They just got to find a little bit of energy here and get back in this thing.
Down the middle, that's Gillett with the right hand. Free ball sent over by Young, but right back over. Davis spikes down the free ball, but a violation against Hillsboro. It looks like Davis may have been into the net. Will award the point to Waverly, and it's 13-6.
Yeah, the follow-through caught the tape there, and just like that, instead of 12-7, you go 13-6, and those are huge momentum swings.
inside with the left hand. Sealing trying to get it up over the tape, but she's unable to do so.
And if you're Waverly, this is what we talked about, staying at your standard in terms of playing well and continuing to push and try to put them away.
Sealing sets it up. Young with the right hand. It's dug up by Gillett. Now Robert comes to Knight near side. She pushes it over with 2. Davis to Sealing now near side. It's Mycroft who gets the kill for Hillsboro.
Her first kill of the morning. And
low serve for Mycroft, and it's back to the Tigers leading 15-7.
if you're tuning in and you're more of a casual volleyball fan, or you don't know, or maybe just you're uncertain, you'll see a lot of things that in the past would have been illegal hits on the one side of the net. It's just if you toss it over the net now, that's when that comes into play.
Davis far side, it's dug up by Knight. Now Knight swinging away near side, and she gets another kill. The freshman has had an outstanding second set here this morning.
Yes, she really has.
Had 3 aces to begin the set. I believe up to 3 or 4 kills in the frame as well. Ceiling goes to Davis, far side. It's dug up by Johnson in the back row. Now Knight once again down the line, but she's blocked. That was Emily Young defensively for Hillsboro. Overpass back to the Tigers. Now Gillett goes backside for Nesser, but she's blocked and it flies out of bounds off of the Tiger touch. That was Tylee Davis defensively for the Indians.
Yeah, and really that's some of the first resistance we've seen in the match at the net. There's been a lot of open nets in terms of the attack. That time, good defense from Hillsboro.
Young serves it away and into the net. Quickly back to the Tigers. They lead by 9.
Yeah, you can kind of see the body language with Hillsboro, just kind of the frustration. When you kind of do it to yourself, it's kind of that you got to get out of your own way type of thing.
The freshman Callie Knight serves it away for Waverly. Pence sends it over on the second touch. Now Gillett sets it up down the middle. That's Royster dug up in the back row. Now Davis on the attack, a nice swing, and she gets another kill.
Yeah, big time swing. Give Nesser a lot of credit there on a, I believe that was Nesser. I might have the wrong number there. Or sorry, Wagner on the dig.
And an ace from the line for Davis. Despite Hillsboro trailing in the match and trailing in the set, Davis has had a solid morning so far.
4 kills on my sheet here with a block and an ace.
Ramsey back to the middle of the floor, and a free ball sent over by Johnson. Now Davis sets it up inside. That's Pence. Dug up by Gillett, near side. Johnson into the back row. Now Ceiling goes to Wagner, far side. She's blocked up top. Sadie Royster and Emma Nesser defensively on the block for the Tigers.
Yeah, nice double block. Get all 4 hands up there. Give the hitter something to look at.
Ceiling tight to the net, flips it over with the left hand. Far side, it'll be Nesser on the attack. The free ball gets back over to Waverly now. Gillett down the middle into the back right corner. That was Schrader, but she was unable to keep it inside that back line, and it's 18-11 now.
You wonder how about 6 or 7 bodies stayed out of the net on that sequence, you know, on a morning where we've had probably a total of about 10 net violations so far.
Tied to the net, and it's an overpass. Now back on the other overpass to the Indians now. Ceiling goes to Wagner, far side off of the Tiger block. It stays on their side. Gillett goes to Johnson near side, and she gets the kill.
Yeah, good vision. That could come from the talented Johnson. That could also come from communication behind her from the back row player, but nonetheless, knew exactly where to go with the ball to find the opening.
Ceiling keeps it on the far side, and Wagner pushes it over with 2. Now Roberts goes backside. That's Gillett over on the free ball to Davis. Now Ceiling goes Wagner down the line, and it's off of the Waverly coach, Ricky Henshaw, and it's now 20-11.
Yeah, a lot of problems with Hillsboro has been their communication. They've had some back row players and some different kids in position to make plays, and it kind of forced other kids to make a tougher play. Sometimes that's just a communication thing.
Sealing a bump set, that's Wagner. She'll just push it over with 2. Johnson is there for the dig. Now inside with the right hand, Schrader pushes it over. Sealing goes backside for Mycroft. Now Gillett to Johnson, near side, a roll shot, and she sticks it in for the kill.
Yeah, just a little bit of a roll there, had some late action on it. Just kind of passer wasn't able to adjust, and Johnson starting to put together a pretty good day.
And an ace from the line for the Tigers as they now lead by 11. The sophomore Cameron Carroll. Excuse me, that was actually the senior Mallory Roberts. And back-to-back aces for the senior. It's now a 23-11 second set lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, and if Hillsboro's going to go into third set here, it looks like down 2-0. It'll be an now or never, and this will give us an idea to see if Waverly can continue to keep the foot on the pedal.
Sealing goes to the far side. It's Wagner again. She's blocked, but she's into the net as well. She looked like they may have not had the block for Waverly, and it was 4 touches for the Indians. It's 24-11.
Yeah, just caught the tape there with no touch. And Waverly on the doorstep here of 2-0.
Set point for the Tigers. Davis takes it to Wagner far side. It's a roll shot from the attack line. It nearly fell in. Here's a bump set from Roberts to Johnson, who pushes it over with 2. Sealing goes backside. That's Mycroft. Kept alive by Gillett. Now Roberts to Knight near side. Roll shot into the back row. A dig from Rhodes. Sealing goes to Wagner down the line. Off the top with a Waverly block, and it falls in for the kill.
Yeah, I like Wagner on that outside. I think the wider she can get and create that angle, I think she becomes a really difficult kid to handle, especially for that outside blocker, because you can really start to tool that block down the line when you get that angle.
24-12, Hillsboro trailing Waverly here in the second. Roberts goes to the outside. That's Johnson. She's into the net. 24-13, Tiger lead. Now the junior Josie Rhodes to serve it away for the Indians. Roberts comes near side on the attack. That was Gillett. Free ball sent back over to the Tigers. Bump set from Roberts on the second touch. It'll go back to the Indians. Here's Sealing to Wagner far side. Dug up in the back row by Carroll. Now Johnson near side, and it's wide to the right sideline. It's 24-14.
Again, Waverly having trouble sealing the deal here with some errors. But again, I like that Hillsboro's continuing to play.
And an ace from the service line for Josie Rhodes.
Again, Hillsboro just got to find a way to generate this a little earlier in sets. They've been playing uphill the entire match.
The service error for Josie Rhodes will end it in the second. 25-15, the final in set 2. We'll take a break. Set number 3 coming up when we return to Waverly High School. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Rothkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
We welcome you back to Waverly High School Saturday morning non-conference volleyball action. The Tigers leading the Indians 2-0. 25-18 in the first, 25-15 in the second. The Tigers have been able to dominate offensively. We've seen our fair share of Tigers get opportunities on the outside and in the middle, most notably Sydney Johnson. Abby Schrader has had some swings. The freshman Callie Knight had a great second set as well.
I like the way you said all those names because that's exactly where I was going in my notes. Is the thing that's jumped out at me about Waverly is the variety of athletes that they have and the different types of serves that they have, the ability to attack both strong side and out of the middle. I thought their defensive presence at the net started to pick up a little bit more against Wagner and Davis there, getting some hands up on the block. For Hillsboro, look, if anyone who's coached, we've all been there before. You come out on a Saturday morning here, you're in a non-league match, whatever. They come off a tough loss Thursday night and what could have been an FAC basically history maker, right? Because we're talking about that streak with Miami Trace, and it just hasn't happened. They've been flat, and as a coach, you try to push all the right buttons. But again, I'll say this one more time, the thing about volleyball that gives you a chance that other sports do not is the way you start over every set. So you're down 2-0, but it's back to 0-0. Can you find sometimes in other sports by now do it, let's face it, you'd be down 20 in football or you'd be down 20 in basketball and it would probably be over. But in this case, you come out in the third set and that's why if you're Waverly, you got to continue to focus and put people away. That's why in the pre-match coverage I said I do get impressed by straight set wins because it shows me a focus, it shows me the ability to finish. And let's see if Waverly's able to do that here or if Hillsboro can do it. I think getting off to a better start. They've been down 6-0 and 7-0 in the first two sets respectfully. So this right here is going to be a huge opportunity for them.
So the third set will begin with Hillsboro to be Tylee Davis. Already has an ace this morning. Now technically, I'm getting closer to the afternoon. It's right at 12 p.m. So Davis serves it away. The third set is underway from Waverly. It'll be Royster near side with the first swing, and she sticks it in the back right corner for the kill.
Good adjustment from Royster there. I thought she was going to overswing, seeing that she was a little bit late to the attack, but she made the adjustment and kind of a little, somewhat of a roll shot, kind of took something off of it.
Sealing goes far side. That's Wagner. She's had some success today. A nice play from Johnson to keep it alive, and a free ball sent over by Ramsey. Now Sealing keeps it inside with two hands. That's Riley Pence who pushes it over the net for the kill.
Yeah, nice adjustment from Sealing too. They've used the outside quite a bit. I thought the block cheated that way. Good decision to go in the middle, and Pence was able to find a hole.
Gillett comes near side for Johnson down the line. A nice swing, but it's just outside of this near side line. It's 2-1 Hillsboro.
Yeah, Johnson trying to go line there. The shoulder's a little bit square to the net, and the follow through, she just didn't quite accurately put that ball where she wanted to.
And Sealing gets the ace from the line. It's 3-1 Indians leading the Tigers here in the third set.
Second ace of the morning for the senior setter. Now back to serve where she'll go across the back row with three options at the net.
Gillett sets it up. Johnson inside gets the kill.
A big time swing there. You can certainly see where she racks up the statistics that she's been able to over the, well, not just this year, really her career.
Sealing bumps it to Davis out of the back row. It's a roll shot. Knight keeps it alive. Now Gillett goes inside to Abby Schrader for the kill. The Tigers tied at 3.
Waverly in pretty good rhythm here this morning in terms of the way they transition from defense to offense. They're getting three hitters going at all times.
Sealing bumps it to Wagner on the outside, and she sends it into the net. So the Tigers take the 4-3 lead here in the third. Senior Sadie Royster back at the line for the Tigers. Sealing to Wagner down the line. A nice touch with the right hand. Took a bit off of it that time, and it fell in for the kill.
Yeah, really athletic adjustment there. She could tell that the double block was up, and she was able to make an adjustment and tip it right up over top of it and find the hole.
And from the line, that was Riley Pence for the ace.
The sophomore able to put a little something extra on that, had a little late dive to it.
Back and forth start to the third set. It's 5-4 Hillsboro. Gillett bumps it. That's Schrader inside. She gets another kill.
Yeah, Hillsboro back row defense just a little late to react there. That ball didn't come off the hand with a whole lot of velocity, just kind of late to react.
Sealing comes backside on the attack. That's Wagner, and she'll get the kill. So really outside of the rough start for Wagner, she's been outstanding so far this morning.
Yeah, been pretty solid. Now she goes back to serve, which means Davis will be the hitter across the front row on that strong side.
Roberts on the second touch. Sealing is there to dig it up now. Davis to the attack line, and it's Wagner over on the free ball. Roberts to Johnson near side. She pushes it over with two. Davis to Sealing now back to Davis. She's blocked up top by Schrader, and it falls on the Indian side.
Yeah, tough ball for Davis there. You know, she was stuck at the net trying to stay out of the net, and then when the set comes back to her, she had to go off the standstill.
Roll a shot from Knight back over to the Indians. Now Davis on the move, and it's dug up by Johnson, but the overpass is sent right back to the Tigers, and now back over to the Indians. Some athletic defense on both sides as Davis gets the kill for Hillsboro.
Yeah, nice job of Hillsboro just staying with it there, and as a result, Davis gets a good swing at it. And, you know, Hillsboro up 7-6. I talked about Waverly was up 6-0 in the first set, 7-0 in the second. So if you're Hillsboro, you've settled into this set much better. Now let's see if you can play out in front.
And the service there for the senior Allie Roush, and we're tied at 7.
That's kind of been the theme of the match. The unforced errors. It just makes it so hard to gain any momentum.
Cameron Carroll, the sophomore, serves it away for the Tigers and has the ace. (8-7) Waverly.
Hillsboro serve receive really needed here.
Bump set Sealing to Davis, an athletic play just to get it over the net with the left hand. Now Roberts goes to Royster inside. It's dug up by Davis. Sealing goes back outside to Davis. She's blocked by Royster. As Royster gets it back over to Hillsboro on the free ball. Here's Davis inside, who tools the block for the kill.
Davis is a really impressive athlete. Played with good effort there. She did about 2 or 3 things to keep that rally alive, and then when she finally got to get out there with a little bit more of approach, able to swing and pull that block. A pretty good sequence there for the junior.
Carroll back to the near side and a free ball over by Royster. Sealing goes to Davis, streaking down the lane. Another big swing for the junior as she gets another kill and a timeout for Waverly.
Get a little bit of life here for Hillsboro. Good timeout on the Waverly side because, again, what you're guarding against is exactly what I talked about, leading into the third set. If you're Waverly, do you start to lose a little bit of your intensity and so forth? Now, all of a sudden, if Hillsboro starts to take away some of those unforced errors, it starts to put the pressure back on Waverly, and this will be an important sequence. Can Hillsboro start to work themselves out to a 2-3 point lead? That's something they haven't experienced in the entire match so far.
You're just now tuning in, a 2-set lead for the Tigers here in the third. They trail in the third set 9-8 to Hillsboro, taking the first set 25-18, 25-15 in the second. And really in both sets, it was Waverly jumping out to that 6 or 7 point lead to start things off that more or less set the tone for both of those sets respectfully.
Yeah, just so hard to play from behind all the time.
Macy Faber serves it away and sticks it inside that back line for the ace. Impressive serve by the freshman as Hillsboro is the first to double digits here in the third.
Yeah, biggest lead now at 10-8, and you're just trying to, again, you're trying to build off of this and continue forward, and we'll see if Waverly can respond.
Bump set Roberts. It'll be Carroll who sends it over on the roll shot. Overpass by the Indians. I believe it was Royster who tried to push it over with two, but she pushed it right into the net.
Well, missed opportunity for Waverly there. They caught the break and just couldn't put it down into the hole.
Gillett sets it up down the middle. That's Gillett. Or excuse me, that was Knight swinging away, and not sure if she'll be credited with the kill, but the Tigers will get the point.
That was the violation coming back over. Again, that's what I was talking about earlier. They on the first or second contact, not a big deal unless you're sending it over the net.
Sealing bumps it to Davis on the outside with two hands, goes into the back row. Now Nesser back to Hillsboro, now back over to the Tigers now. Down the lane, it's Royster. And a free ball sent over to Waverly by Sealing. It nearly falls in, and eventually it will. It's one of those scenarios where you're just trying to get it over the net. It ends up resulting in a point.
Well, what's unique there is sometimes you always want to go low and fast, but sometimes if you're not in system, it can work against you.
Gillett sets it up inside. That's Royster. Another nice swing for the senior as she brings the Tigers back within two.
Cleaner exchange there. Started with a great serve receive right on target, and as a result, you get Royster going on time. Set is on target, and you get a kill.
Knight serves it away for Waverly. Sealing goes to the outside. Wagner dug up in the back row by Carroll. Now Gillett to Johnson near side. A roll shot dug up in the back row by Hillsboro. Here's Wagner down the line, but she sails it over that back line. And it's a one-point match here in the third set.
Yeah, it's that adjustment Wagner has to make there when she doesn't get there on time and on top. She's got to change the type of shot.
Nice serve, clips the top of the tape and falls in for the ace. The freshman ties it up at 12. Sealing to Wagner outside, and she gets another kill. A nice swing for the junior Ryan Wagner.
Yeah, Dewey, I sense a little bit of opportunity here for Hillsboro, and if I'm Waverly, I want to put this thing away in this third set because you follow Hillsboro throughout the year, you know it's in there. You start to wake the giant a little bit, you end up in a 4 or 5 set grind.
Gillett comes to Johnson near side, and she ties it at 13.
Certainly a good place to go to start is your go-to with Johnson.
Johnson has certainly been as advertised this morning. Royster serves it away for Waverly and past that back line as Hillsboro retakes a one-point advantage.
Pence back to serve. She was able to use a little bit of a drop. Was picking on the back right serve receive of Waverly, and that time hits the net.
It'll be the senior Mallory Roberts to serve for the Tigers.
Back and forth here, tied at 12, 13, and 14. Just waiting for one team to grab control of this third set.
A bump set from Wagner, tight to the net on the overpass. It was Taryn Gillett who spiked it down for the kill. It's 15-14 Waverly. Sealing goes front side. That's Emily Young down the line. Tigers keep it alive. Here's Gillett to Johnson near side on the attack, and she sticks it in the back right corner for the kill.
And Hillsboro, when they've been through some of these laws, not only the mistakes, sometimes it doesn't even have to be a mistake for a point. It's just a mistake to not go on the attack. And when Johnson's over on the other side there in the front row, you just can't afford those mistakes.
Sealing goes front side. That's Young once again, but she's over the back line on the attacking air. It's a 3-point advantage now for Waverly.
Now you've entered that danger time for Hillsboro. We get it later in the set. Can't afford to go down more than 3.
Bump set from Sealing on the outside. It's Young. Dug up by Montgomery now on the second touch. A violation against Waverly. They tried to get crafty on that second touch, but unable to do so.
Yeah, and again, that's one of those because it was going over the net. You get that 1-2 contact, illegal hit.
Roberts goes backside to Johnson, who sends it into the net. Hillsboro fights back. They're back within 1.
Good response. I was saying at 17-14, I didn't think they could afford to go down 4. As a result, they went 2 straight.
Wagner serve clips the top of the tape and overpass to Davis. Now Sealing goes right back to Davis. She's blocked by Johnson. Back to the Indians now. It'll be Davis again, a roll shot far side. Now Roberts comes to Gillett near side. Dug up in the back row by Wagner. Sealing on the second touch. Nearly sticks it in. A nice play from Knight to keep it alive. Now here's Young down the middle. It looks like Young was into the net. Haven't seen that as much here in the third. We saw it all throughout the second set. Waverly extends their lead to 2.
Felt like Waverly got away with one there with the way it's been called to this point, with the way they kind of lifted that ball back over the net.
Sealing bumps it to Mycroft near side. It's dug up by Montgomery in the back row. Here's Johnson, a roll shot from the attack line. Sealing goes to Davis on the outside. She's a bit out of rhythm. She is able to get it up over the net. Knight, a nice swing, dug up by Wagner. Sealing goes to Davis. Johnson is there for the dig. Now Robert goes to Schrader. Back to the Indians now. Davis sets it up for Emily Young. It's back to the Tigers. Far side, Gillett sticks it inside of the back row for Hillsboro, and it's 19-16 Waverly.
Shows you the importance of attacking the setter in her defensive spot. Sealing had to take the first ball over, and her teammates didn't recognize it. Hillsboro never got in rhythm.
Sealing keeps it on the outside for Davis, who tools the block and gets the kill.
And that's the ball, Dewey, I'd like to see Davis and Wagner hit a little bit more. You see how wide she got off the court there? She's coming in at an angle, and that just is so difficult for that outside blocker. Sometimes I think they get caught up the net too much.
Allie Roush serves it away for Hillsboro. Roberts goes to Gillett. She sticks it in. No, just outside of the near sideline, and it's 19-18. Roberts from the attack line comes to Knight near side. Indians keep it alive. It's Sealing to Davis on the outside. Gets it over the tape and gets the kill as Tylee Davis ties it at 19.
That's the importance of having a presence at the net. Just Young getting a hand up there on the block that helps the back row.
Roberts front setting to Knight, who gets the kill.
Yeah, really been impressed with Knight. Listed 5'7". With the athleticism, I feel like she plays a little taller than that than that sometimes.
Bump set from Sealing goes outside the antenna. Strong serve from the sophomore Cameron Carroll.
Getting right back on one of these huge points, 21-19.
Sealing bumps it out to Davis on the outside, and an attacking error for the junior. 22-19 Waverly, and a timeout for Hillsboro.
Yeah, all starts with serve receive. You try to do a little too much with the ball that's not on target, and the setter tries to do what she can, the hitter tries to do what she can, and it's just not what you want in rhythm, and as a result, you're down 3 now. So now you got to come out of this timeout and pretty much kind of a must-win point in a lot of ways in terms of the momentum of the match.
Both teams back into conference play next Tuesday for Hillsboro. They're at home against Chillicothe. They lost in straight sets to the Cavaliers the first time around. Now for Waverly, a big one down at South Webster. That'll be the first meeting between those two this season, and that'll effectively wrap up the first time through the league in the SOC3.
I would imagine in the Chillicothe matchup that Hillsboro really struggles defending the middle, and I would imagine Chillicothe struggles a little bit with Hillsboro's quickness to the outside.
Sealing goes to the outside. That's Davis. Dug up by Carroll as Roberts goes to Knight near side, but she sends it over the back line. So the Indians not done just yet.
Big point for them there. It keeps them in the match, just down 2. Your Waverly here, it all starts with a good serve receive.
Gillett goes to the outside for Royster, who gets the kill. The Tigers knock it on the door. It's 23-20.
Nice swing from Royster. Only a couple kills per set on the year, but really does it in a pretty efficient way with the number of swings that she gets.
Gillett serves it away for the Tigers. Bump set far side by Wagner. Davis, an athletic play with the left hand to get it up over the net. Knight near side with a roll shot, and she gets the kill. Match point coming up for Waverly. Looking to make it 4 consecutive 3-set wins. (24-20). Gillett serves it away. Sealing pushes it over, or at least tried to on the second touch, and it's into the net. And that'll wrap it up for us here this afternoon. 25-18, 25-15, and 25-20 in the third. A straight set win for Waverly over Hillsboro.
Again, Waverly continues to play well. They improved to 12-3, and you start to look at that seeding. I know inside the SOC they're going to certainly be tested with a lot of competition. You and I are going to see 2 of those teams Tuesday night in Valley Wheelersburg. But again, 12 wins. You just keep racking up wins, and you try to find your spot on the bracket to the best matchup possible.
For Hillsboro, it now makes it 8 of their last 9 matches have been decided in straight sets. Whether it's a win or a loss, there hasn't been a lot of 4 or 5 set matches as of late for the Indians.
I hate to judge Hillsboro too much on today. I mean, it was kind of a flat performance. I mean, to call it what it was. Obviously, when you look at their scores, I've seen them on film a couple times. There's more there than that. Give Waverly credit though, because they've come out today and they jumped right out. If you joined us late, they jumped out 6-0 in the first set. They jumped out 7-0 in the second set. Third set a little bit more competitive, but I think Waverly had kind of already set the tone for the morning.
All righty, a 3-set win for Waverly over Hillsboro. We'll take a break. Stick around for the post-game report here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to Waverly High School, the post-game report here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. A 3-set win for the Tigers over the Hillsboro Indians this Saturday afternoon. Dewey Daly and Shane Combs alongside you for today's broadcast. Shane, a quick one here in Waverly, but another solid win for Waverly.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, yeah, you get these Saturday morning non-league matches, not a lot of energy in the gym, and give Waverly credit because they were the team that was more prepared and more ready to go from creating their own energy, jumping out quick in the first 2 sets and kind of just establishing the momentum in the match. Obviously, Hillsboro, not their best effort today. I've seen them play better, but you still can see the talent there, and you still can see the ability. They're going to make for a tough opponent down the stretch as we get to the postseason. If we look at some stats here, some of these statistics, we'll have to get official counts later on and see how some things are scored, because a lot of times with net violations and with some different things, it's the kill totals can be a little bit different. But unofficially, I'll give you what I had. I had Sydney Johnson with 12 on the day, and Knight with 8. Royster followed with 5, and I was impressed that they were able to get a variety of people at the net. They also were good with the serve. Knight, I think, had about 3 aces, maybe 4 aces maybe. So overall, you get the setting of Gillett, you get the setting of Roberts. They were spreading the ball out pretty well, and overall, I thought Waverly did what they had to do. They were able to put some pressure on Hillsboro. Hillsboro with a lot of unforced errors throughout the day. Over on the Hillsboro side, they have a nice 1-2 punch, as we knew coming in, with Tylee Davis and Ryan Wagner. Wagner finished with 11, Davis with 8 on the kill side, and they served it tough in spots. I think they had about 6 aces on the day from about 4 different kids. So they did some things at time. They could just never establish momentum to put a streak together. The 3rd set was the closest, where they led 12-9, but at that point, Waverly comes right back and they kind of take control of it. So for Hillsboro, it's one of those where you're in a tough stretch right now. You come off of a tough FAC game on Thursday. You play this one, you're right back in FAC play with another key opponent, Chillicothe. So you just got to try to shake this one off and get ready for tournament. If you're Waverly at 12-3, you start to get a lot of momentum. You hope that you can play your best volleyball down the stretch, because they're going to be in a tough division there come tournament time.
Yeah, Hillsboro 4-7 over their last 11 games after starting the season 6-0. But as you said, there's not a whole lot of time to sit around and think about it, as you're right back into conference action next Tuesday.
Yeah, it is. With Hillsboro, it's like so many volleyball teams. If you just can clean up some serve receive, they're pretty good at setter there with Silling, and she's got options on the outside of the net there. But you just got to clean up some of those things. Then on Waverly, what I like about them is their athleticism. Sometimes even when the volleyball isn't pretty, if you just can play hard and keep volleys alive and find a way, figure it out, as I like to say in coaching, they have some tools there. And with someone like Johnson there and the way Knight's coming on, they're always going to have someone at the net that can give them a chance to get out of a rotation.
All righty, well, that will wrap things up for us here today. As we said at the top of the broadcast, we will have 2 games next week. For sure, next Tuesday we'll be down in Lucasville as the Valley Indians host Wheelersburg. They're two of the top three teams in the SOC3, obviously, alongside South Webster. And then for us, Thursday is still undecided, but there are 2 or 3 games that we're looking at. We'll for sure be at one of them. We just haven't exactly made up our mind yet on where we will be on Thursday.
Well, we'd picked 3 or 4 instant classics there over the last couple weeks. So we'll see if we can to get back to one of those really, really good ones here as we come up on this week.
Now, obviously, Logan Elm and Circleville, that rematch is this Thursday up at Logan Elm. And then we also talked about Nelsonville, York, and Benton County, who look like they're 2 strong teams out of the TVC as well. And I believe there was one other matchup maybe we were looking at as well. But for sure, those were 2 of the ones we were considering for next week.
Benton County with what a lot of people would consider the upset win over Alexander in 5 there the other night, where Alexander looked like they had taken a stranglehold on the TVC, and it was kind of a Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend moment there in that conference. And then I believe it was Chillicothe and Miami Trace was the other one there. We had that one where Miami Trace 1-4. And certainly thought that was a competitive match. I don't see why it wouldn't be again.
Yeah, I mean, it went 4, and Miami Trace had a set win where they were trailing, I think, 24-20 at one point, so you figured that was one that could have easily went to 5 sets as well.
No question.
Just stick around. Make sure you check out all of the socials to find out where we will be on Thursday. Again, we'll be down in Lucasville as Valley takes on Valley takes on Wheelersburg this upcoming Tuesday. But for today, that'll wrap things up. For Dewey Daly and Shane Combs, we're saying so long from Waverly High School. The Tigers with a 3-0 win over Hillsboro. You've been watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.